Potent Pondering back with another video. I hope y'all all doing well. It's Sunday. Listen, Sunday night, I wanted to come and just give y'all a video, right? So listen, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. Make sure that you support the channel. The Cash App is in the description. Shout out to all of y'all who show me love and send me Cash Apps as well, right? So first thing first, I want to talk about, let's just get her out the way because it's not even long and drawn out. Cardi B. Some people online are calling Cardi B out. They feel as though that Cardi B is outside way too soon for a person that has just given birth, you know, just 2 weeks ago, right? I want to say this. Now, y'all know that I said that originally on this channel. I said that Cardi B couldn't wait to get back into the mix. You know, she wants to be bubbling. She sees the female rappers out here doing things. She feel like she losing her spot and all of that, right? But one thing I want to tell you, and like I said in my other video, right? Cardi B, she suffers, like, not saying that she has it extremely now, but she suffered from postpartum depression before. Remember when she's out there lashing out at the Harper's Bazaar with Nicki Minaj and doing all that? She suffers from postpartum depression. She kind of low-key gave the tea, and she mentioned this. Somebody sent me a screenshot. I don't know if she shared it in like her little broadcast channel group or whatever, but it was something that she said where she was just like, this is her third baby, so the postpartum is different. She said she has to do things to keep her mind busy. I mean, you would think that being with your kids and all of that, but you know, who knows if she's really going through something with Offset. I think Cardi B has lied so much that we don't really know what's real and what's not. But she jumped out at this event. It was Tokyo Styles' birthday party last night, and what I will say is that if you got to do what you got to do, if you suffer from depression or postpartum depression, whatever, right, you got to do what you do to put yourself across. So I told y'all before, when Cardi B had a birthday party like 2 years ago when Wave was born, 2 or 3 years ago when Wave was born, I said she's having a birthday party. She just gave birth. Cardi don't care. She don't care, and maybe that's what her doctors tell her to do. Maybe she's under medical advice from her therapist and, you know, her doctors and all of that. So listen, some people were saying that she tried to pull off the whole Chun look, and they was calling her ugly and all of that. Now, I'm not going to say that, but I don't think Cardi B is butt ugly, but I don't think that she is the I don't think that she's the picture of beauty that she promotes that she is. You know, we all know the before and the after, and I just feel like surgery and all of that, surgery got her out here verbally committing perjury. Surgery got her out here verbally committing perjury, because baby, you ain't butt ugly, but you ain't, listen, you ain't all that either, for real. So listen, let's move it on. Let me know what you think in the comments in regards to Cardi B. Do you think she's out here too early? Some of her fans have even questioned it, like, she out here, she just pushed the baby out of the canal, like, wow, and she out here in parties and all of that. Listen, and COVID is very real. So I would hate for her to be in the mix, trying to be in the mix like an ingredient, and then she end up looking funny like comedian. Like, don't be in the mix. It's like, chill. You know, your vaginal womb is still open. You just pushed the baby out now. Maybe if she had a C-section, but I think it would be a different type of pain. But yeah, get in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. Listen, I want to move on. Next thing I want to talk about is Nicki Minaj and Eve. So, you know, Nicki Minaj, first thing first, shout out to Nicki. She had an amazing show out there last night. Gag City, Los Angeles. You know, the regulars that are on the show, Bia, Skilly Bang, and Tyga. And I love the fact that Nicki is performing Roger That with Tyga. I thought that was really dope. That's one of my favorite, you know, intro verses. Like, you know, when Nicki was bubbling before the album, and then she did Whole Lot of Money. She got to learn her Whole Lot of Money verse a little bit better as well. But yeah, I felt like it was really dope. And y'all seen, if you seen the LA show, you seen that Armand Wiggins, he was there yesterday, and Nicki was smiling, looking at him like, what are you doing here? To me, some people felt as though that, you know, that was kind of like, you know, shady, but I felt like Nicki acknowledged him, right? Now, this is a person who I don't speak to, I don't know, but listen, I never understood where people get jealous and envious over another person's moment. I don't care about, like, I don't care about that. Get your moment. The one thing I would tell you is when I went to Gag City, I was in the suite. If I wanted Nicki to see me, or if I wanted that, I should have got a front row ticket. He had a front row ticket. So it's like, don't be mad. Just do what another person does. If you want to get that type of recognition, if you doing something that Nicki is going to notice you, to me, that really was heartwarming, because that shows that Nicki be looking out into her crowd and all of that, and she knows who's there or whatever. So anyway, let's move on from there. The next thing I'm going to talk about, so Nicki Minaj, right? She was brought up by the rapper Eve. So y'all know Nicki Minaj and Eve worked on the Barbershop Final Cut. I think it's the Final Cut. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, right? So Eve has some things to say about Nicki Minaj, because she's coming out with her book, and this makes me want to buy it. Her book is called Who's That Girl, right? So she has some things to say about Nicki Minaj. So I just want to pull that up real quick. I'm pretty sure some of y'all have seen that. So, all right. So what she had to say about Nicki, she said that she had to get therapy. Eve said that she had to get therapy to get on set and work with Nicki Minaj. And we're gonna, after I read this in regards to what she said, we're gonna go into another section, and then I think that you will understand. So Eve on starting therapy after finding out Nicki Minaj joined the barbershop. So I've lived through what happens when women project their insecurities onto women. It happened to me at the start of my career and continued in waves as fame grew. I wasn't going to be that woman to someone else, but in order to do that, I had to physically and mentally prepare myself. So that means she invested in herself. She invested in herself. She had to mentally and physically and mentally prepare for that. Nicki and I were actually fine on set. We got along well, shot our scenes together with no problems. It was like nothing that I had expected, but yet again, I'm so thankful that I prepared myself for that. Listen, you got to invest in yourself, especially when it means something to you. And listen, to me personally, I never want to come off as a hater. And I think that a lot of people, they don't want to come off as a hater or whatever, but unfortunately, the way that Eve came into the game, I don't blame her for feeling this way. So listen, let's continue to read. She said, she's talking about Nicki still, Eve. She said, I see her writing songs on her bus in between takes, hurrying off set to go hit some show dates over the weekend and then come right back on set for 12 to 16 hour shoots, all while trying to hold together her personal life, her relationship. It was the moment that I didn't envy her. I kind of wanted to give her a hug. I thought I was going to resent her, but and really all I felt was compassion. I remember being that person, the girl that felt like she had to do it all, the girl that had to do it all because all eyes were on her. Instead of feeling insecure around Nicki, I started to sympathize with her. Listen, if you had a heart, I was hoping that you would show us something. What you really trying to tell me? What you telling me? I could tell you lying, get the F out. Don't yell at me. So I really love that Eve showed this. She was vulnerable enough to even come and, say this in her book. That's real talk. So many people try to hide their jealousies and all that. And I can definitely relate to this because listen, content creation, some people like you, some people don't. Some people, even if you don't get a lot of views, they still pressed by you. It might be your personality. Listen, it's really true. No matter what industry, whether you in nursing, whether you in cursing, whether you in marketing, it's always one person that just, they don't like you. Maybe it's something that you possess in your spirit of being, right? So, all right, so this is the part where I want to get into where Eve was, we're kind of connected dots to her intro into the game, right? So after talking about her love for Lil' Kim, she did not always love Lil' Kim. See, but I can't expect if everything with her and Lil' Kim, I'm not expecting her to go back to the diss records and stuff that she definitely wrote towards Lil' Kim and Foxy. Definitely, Eve was heavy dissing Lil' Kim and Foxy. So after talking about her love for Lil' Kim, Trina, Missy Elliott, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, and Lauryn Hill, Eve recalls a rap girl causing a scene at her show. Which girl she didn't mention? She mentioned Lil' Kim, Trina, Missy, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, Lauryn Hill. Who she ain't mentioned that was prominent back in that time? Foxy Brown. So we gonna talk about that, right? But not all the girls were great to me. Some said that they were gonna have me blackballed. At one of my first shows in Chicago, one of the girls pulled up and started yelling from the balcony, trying to mess up my show. She was yelling out her city, Brooklyn, and you know that's Foxy. She's Brooklyn to the death, which by the way wasn't even Chicago, and trying to throw stuff onto my stage. From the stage, I said, why don't you come on stage and let's battle? I mean, clearly, if she had so much to say from the chair, she could say it standing up with the mic too, right? She left. Oh well. So listen, what I want to say is this, right? When Eve came into the game, and this is why I love the fact that she said she worked on herself, like with work in regards to working with Nicki. And I like that she did that because when she came in the game, I'll be honest with you. Now, I can't call Foxy and say Foxy was a hater or anything like that. Foxy had her reasons why she didn't like Eve. There was this tour called the Survival of the Illest Tour back in 1997, I believe. It was in 1997, 1998. The Survival of the Illest Tour. Foxy Brown was on there, I believe, with some of her firm family, and DMX was on there. I will keep it real with you. Many people reported that Foxy did something with DMX, right? Foxy, even when that whole rumor came out, as she did something with DMX, the source of that, and Foxy talked about it on an old Wendy Williams interview. She talked about Eve, and she even gave her credit, like, she cleaned herself up well. She's doing good. But Foxy said that back then, Eve had ran up to her, got autographs and all that. Listen to a diss track from Foxy Brown. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the comments below. It's called Get Off Me. I'm going to put Lil' Kim's diss record, too, that she dissed Eve on, too. Right? So Foxy was like that, you know, when she was on this tour with DMX, the only way that the public or anybody ever found out anything that, you know, about her and DMX was through Eve. They said that, you know, she went up to DMX, tried to get on and was like, you know, I'm trying to get down with Rough Riders, and DMX is, no, she went up to Corrupt saying like, I'm trying to get down with Rough Riders and DMX is trying to holla at your girl. Now Foxy, right? So pretty much Eve ruined Foxy Brown's relationship with Corrupt. So Foxy, of course, she's not going to like her. And, you know, as a rap girl, she's from Brooklyn, you know, from the streets. That, what she described as a rap girl coming to her show and screaming Brooklyn and all of that, you know, and throwing stuff onto the stage, and that's a little bit erratic. But could you imagine somebody, she was with Corrupt for like 5 years, and Eve ruined that relationship? You know, just women talk, they run their mouth. Men talk too. Can't just say that, obviously, right? So that was that. And I remember Foxy Brown. I can't remember the interview from Wendy Williams, but she did an interview with Wendy Williams, and she said that Eve did that, and she said Eve ran from her, like she was gonna fight her, like, you know. She said that D and Y from Rough Riders had came out and tried to stop her, and she was like, no, like, you don't go to my man with no, you know, talking about anything like that. Now, just to say, like, you know, in regards to that Foxy Brown and DMX, Foxy Brown did a remix with What's Your Fantasy remix, right, with Ludacris, right? She was on the remix with Trina and Shauna. And I remember Foxy, everybody was saying she boned DMX, and she was like, especially when it get right on X. Get it? Right on X. Welcome, check, right to the next. And everybody was like, whoa, she said that back in. She flew on that remix. So I think that's some of the energy that, you know, that she was talking about in regards to like female rappers with Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim didn't like her. Lil' Kim had a song that I'm going to link below after Foxy Brown, Get Off Me. Get Off Me was a diss to Eve. And then the part 2 of that was to Queen Pen, because Queen Pen said she was gonna fight Foxy and all of that, whatever. Foxy released the first part of Get Off Me, and then the next part of it, she said, get off my, I'm not going toe to toe, I'm still vexed, I had to bring y'all flow. Foxy was so crazy. I love her. She will always be my favorite female rapper, always, right? But Lil' Kim, she went at Eve on this track called I Came Back For You, and she told her, go back to your, keep your tacky ways, go back to your stripper days. I'm gonna link it below, or if you want to look it up, it's Lil' Kim Came Back For You. I'm gonna put both of them in the comments below. So listen, I just didn't like that, you know. She and Eve, she said that her and Lil' Kim had a rocky start, but yeah, you and Eve, she was dissing on Who's That Girl. She was definitely dissing on Who's That Girl. Yes, dissing on that, dissing on Satisfaction. She was dissing on Let Me Blow Your Mind. Oh, Eve, she has, and there's probably more tracks than that she was dissing on as well. So listen, Eve is not innocent. She's not. So, but I understand her plight with saying that she came into the game during the time where female rappers, it was like, you only could be that one, because I don't, you know, I know that Foxy, I know the reason why Foxy's energy was like that towards Eve, because of the relationship stuff. She said she gave Eve a autograph and all of that. So she also did this Eve on the second verse of Get Off Me too. So let's see what I wanted to bring up. I hate this when you click something. So Eve, she also went on, give me a second, she was speaking about Nicki Minaj. Hold on. She was speaking about, Eve talks about coping with her feelings as Nicki Minaj was rising in the music industry. So check this out.
What industry you are in, if you have been at a place in your life or your career where you may have been that one, that person, that thing, and someone comes in and it's, of course, we're human, right? Of course you feel insecure. Of course you feel protective. Of course you feel, you know, wow, do I still belong here? What is going on? I felt like it was important for me to write because it also talks about a time in my life where I wasn't going to those tools of drinking and doing other things to help me cope with my anxieties. I had to go to other modalities like therapy. Yeah, and then, you know, and as people will read, it all was my stuff. It has nothing to do with her. It was all these things coming from the industry, I think also had a lot to do with it, of being the one female. I was even thinking, I guess I was thinking, excuse me, I guess I was holding on to that. You know, thinking like, well, how can she be here and how can I be here? Which is stupid, which is so dumb. Yeah, it was, we questioned putting that in there, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad you did.
I'm happy that Eve spoke on that and just being honest, being vulnerable, being, you know, just being transparent, fully transparent about the situation. I love when people are honest. I don't like when you can feel energy from a person they trying to portray like they don't like you and they really love you. You understand what I'm saying? So Nicki, she also did respond to Eve as well. Nicki took to her Twitter and she responded to Eve, and she, you know, Nicki, I loved her messaging to Eve. Let me just bring this up really quick so I can let y'all know what Nicki said. But Nicki was very gracious and, you know, grateful for Eve. So Nicki took to her Twitter and she said, "Dear Eve, the various things you shared recently are groundbreaking in my opinion for so many reasons. First, thank you. The level of grace, the level of emotional and spiritual maturity it takes to be vulnerable and transparent is a sign of true peace, happiness, fulfillment, and mastery of self." Yes, it does. She did the work, right? Self-reflection at its height. I always say that think accountability is the sexiest trait that a person can have. I was one of those kids in New York watching Rough Riders on TV. I definitely remember when you took the game by storm and there was some people who couldn't hide their insecurities, even though it's swept under the rug now. I remember that you handled it with grace, but also a big sprinkle of unapologetic talent and charisma. Right? So you soared and soared. Classic music with the illest team to the big screen and made it look easy too. Trendsetter. The Eve blonde shortcut, the Eve paw prints and on the chest, and also Eve. Remember when she used to wear those braids going back? She had everybody on that with "What John is want, can't touch." I was playing that in the gym today too. Yep. So I was so nervous coming onto the movie set. She talking about barbershop. Every day. You look like a pro, and I admired that so much. Thank you for trying not to do to me what has been done to you. Women feel so much pressure to compete, and it's a shame because we usually have so much in common and could really benefit from one another just as human beings. We all share so many of the same experiences as artists, wives, moms, ups and downs, anxiety, etc. I remember telling a friend of mine that I didn't think you liked me after our first day on set together, but you know what's crazy? I swear I knew that you could tell deep down inside that I really liked you, so you were easy on me. Laughing out loud. She put a heart in the eye. So love the way the movie turned out. Blessings to you and your beautiful family. Congratulations on your new book as well as all of your many accomplishments in hip hop, film, and TV. P.S. You still look so pretty. Yep, that was so sweet. That was so heartwarming to read from Nicki sending that to Eve, right? That was just heartwarming because people try to paint this picture that Nicki is a mean, evil person. I'm trying to put my slides back on because I'm about to wrap this video up. People try to paint this picture that Nicki is this evil, miserable person. No, Nicki loves the girls. If you think about it, all of them have collaborations from her. All of them. If she can't be that wicked and that mean and evil, if they all got the collaborations, you know what I'm saying? So listen, potent, pondering, never pandering. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. Shout out to Eve. I'm gonna drop those songs below so that you can hear that, right? Maybe I'll put some of the Eve songs too that I feel as though that she was dissing on too. Dissing Little Kim. Every time she came and she was dissing Little Kim and Foxy. She did Eve. I remember Foxy being so upset, and she was like, how y'all gonna do the BK's Finest? That was a song that Jay-Z and Biggie Smalls did. They took the song and jacked it to Brooklyn's Finest song, and Foxy spoke up about it. Yeah, yep, and then Lil' Kim dissed her after that. Foxy was always the one to set it off though, but again, I want you to remember, people like to make it seem like Foxy is just crazy. Imagine being married to, imagine being engaged to a person, and even if you was creeping with DMX, she put it out there to corrupt, so she ruined her relationship. That kind of sunk Foxy into a deep depression, you know. But in hindsight, she probably shouldn't have been cheating, but you know, it is what it is, right? Potent, pondering, never pandering. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Potent Pondering, same name here. Follow me on Twitter at Potent Pondering, same name here. Follow me on TikTok. I need to step my TikTok game up too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Follow me there. Follow me all three platforms. Make sure that you support the channel. The Cash App is in the description. Listen, y'all be blessed. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to upload this video tonight, so it should be going out before midnight. Listen, I'm up out of here. Y'all be blessed. Peace.